Sri Sai Ram. Welcome to Prasanthi Nilayam. This is Sai Prakash from Sri Sathya Sai Media Center, and on this beautiful morning, let us ponder on a seldom recognized aspect of Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba's message. Similes, metaphors, idioms and analogies are used by authors and poets alike to drive home their point effectively. For example, when we say searching for an ideal or a good person is like finding a needle in a haystack. That means it is so difficult or almost impossible. Now that was a simile. But when we say he lives in a bubble, it doesn't mean literally someone living in a bubble like, some of the bubbles that came out during COVID when people lived in transparent bubbles going for live concerts. It's not that. So what this really means is that he is closed to suggestions. And this is a metaphor. Well, as you might have guessed right, it is about how Swami uses these figures of speech to drive home a powerful message. So what's unique about the way Swami used them? As mentioned before, these have been used for centuries across all languages. In fact, you find many of them in the Vedas and in all the great works. But the most unique aspect of this, how Swami used it in his message, is that he took this ancient wisdom, this wonderful eternal wisdom, and presented it to this day and age using absolutely contemporary analogies. Mind Chor. As Lord Krishna, when he gave the message through his Bhagavad Gita, he did not talk about computers, trains, buses, torch, etc. But Swami does all this and much, much more. People say, let's start with something simple. Why? Let's start with something complicated like the mind. Scientists and philosophers alike have been trying to crack the code of what the mind is and how it prevents us from knowing the truth about ourselves. Our scriptures declare, Mana eva manushyanam karanam bandhamokshayoh, meaning the mind is responsible for our bondage and liberation. While scientists call the mind an epiphenomenon, probably for the want of a better word. And Swami says, Chitta Shuddhi, or purity of the mind, is the single most important purpose of all spiritual sadhana, be it namasvarna, seva, dhyana, anything. Chitta Shuddhi, or purity of the mind, is the only purpose of all sadhana. All music lovers will agree with me when I say that Saint Tyagaraja sang O Manasa in many of his kritis. He addressed the mind, and Swami sang Manasa Bhajare Guru Charanam. O mind, contemplate on the feet of the Guru.
Manasa Bhajare Guru Charanam Dustara Brahma Sagar Taranam.
While speaking to a group of students, Swami said, your mind should not be like the monkey mind. It should be steady. It should be focused on what's happening. Like he was speaking to them and he said, I am speaking to your mind, not to you. Yes, you are here physically, but what is more important is that your mind should be here. If your mind is roaming around in the canteens or in the bazaars, then what's the point? Now, what is the big fuss about the mind? Why is it such a big challenge? And why did Swami say that Chitta Shuddhi, or getting purity of the mind, is the most difficult and important part of all spiritual endeavor? Let's go back in time and look at one of a classic simile that Arjuna used to describe the mind. Arjuna cried out. He said, Chanchalam hi manak Krishna pramadi balavridridam tasyaham nigraham manye vayoriva sudushkaram. Meaning, O Krishna, the mind is so difficult to control. It is so restless all the time. In my opinion, it is more difficult to control the mind than controlling the wind itself. So you see, that's a classic simile. Listening to Arjuna's predicament, Lord Krishna did give a solution. He said, Asamshayam Mahabaho Mano Durnigraham Chalam Abhyasena tu Kaunteya Vairagyena cha Grihyati. I'm not getting into the meaning of all that. For that, you can look at Google Guru. So it's obvious that the mind is very difficult to control. Swami has given several analogies on the mind, about the nature of the mind. But there is one particular analogy I want to draw your attention to. Now, once you listen to this analogy, it will never leave your mind because it hits the nail on its head. Swami says the reason why it is very difficult to control the mind is because it's very clever. In fact, he says the mind is the thief, it is the culprit. But what it does is it puts on the garb of a policeman. Now, this policeman is diligently doing his duty of searching for the thief. The whole world may appreciate this policeman, saying, wow, look at this man, he's doing his duty perfectly. But you and I know that the thief will never get caught because the thief is the policeman and the policeman is the thief. Now tell me, once you listen to this analogy, your mind's tricks are completely exposed, isn't it? Now, this is the power of a powerful analogy, isn't it? Swami uses many of these analogies in his discourses, and we are going to bring all this out in this series. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe Sri Sathya Sai official YouTube channel.